Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. And here tonight, we're going to be talking about fighting CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I want to give a warm welcome to my regulars that come here all the time and the new people. We're here to help one another, to help fight CPS, to turn your case around and hang on to your children. Now, what I call the CPS is the Child Protection System. It's a government entity that was started in '62 by Congress that told social services to create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Now, there are two kinds of people that report child abuse and neglect. They are the professional, the mandated reported people that required by law if they're required by law to report any suspected abuse or neglect. And those are your professionals like teachers, counselors, principals, also in the area of police and fire that work with children, and doctors and nurses. For a long time, children were coming in the early 60s to see doctors. They noticed there are marks and bruises and injuries to children. So they're the first mandated reporters. And they report, but the sad thing about it is last year there was 4.2 million cases of abuse or neglect that was reported. Of that, 2 million were falsified by the reporters. That means 50%. So out of 100 people, 50 people may have something there. Now, the other kind of reporter is your layperson, your relative, family members, siblings, neighbor next door, the acquaintances, the guy at the store, or the girl at the hair salon. Those are lay people. And they too report, but they have not have proper training. And about 75%, I mean probably higher, they're wrong too. They're wrong too, because what studies have shown is that these lay people were using the CPS as a stake to drive, for instance, parents apart. They're misusing it. It was in my case for 15 years, or excuse me, for 5 years. I was unaware that my wife's parents and her three sisters and brother were calling from Ohio to California and reporting falsified claims against me and my wife. That's her parents. And they're saying horrible things weren't true, like we weren't feeding them or taking them to school or not paying the utility bills or no food in the house. And for 5 years, I showed the social workers my home. I talked to them and told them I can't believe why someone would make up something not true. And they leave me alone. And the next week it'll be another report. And the week after that, another one. And this went on for 5 years. To finally, I guess they had enough. And they said, we're going to catch them. We're going to really sneak and catch them. So the Orange County Protection Services decided to have 2 code enforcement, 3 social workers, 5 firemen, and a detective searched my home. Now, why does it take all the firemen? The problem is the fireman comes out in the fire truck. They bring all their personnel. And all they did is they checked my smoke alarms and see if they're properly installed and properly working. The code enforcement were checking things like, was the pool area secured? The back door to the pool, was it secured? Was there a perimeter fence around the pool? Was it secured? And also anything else they could find. And they did note some loose screws in the gate in the front. And then they said that your yard needs a little bit trimming because I no longer at that time could afford my landscaper. You see, unfortunately, I lost my job through no fault of my own at age 60 in 2010. After working for 45 years and got my forever home and my dream job everything's going great, and then I lose it. There's no controlling over losing the job. But I was determined to find work again. But I had to tell my family we had to go to a Spartan lifestyle. No more sweets or chips or soda or Disneyland passes. We just had to curtail it or travel to other countries. You see, I spoiled my family. I always gave them season passes since my children were born. And we go on trips all the time on my 2 weeks off a year that I get. We go to exotic places like Brazil or Portugal or all the other places that I've been to, Canada, Vancouver Island, the Grand Canyon. We would go either camping trips or fly somewhere to Hawaii, whatever. Because I'm a world traveler. I've traveled the world for 25 years, lived out of a bag, fallen the endless wave from Tahiti to the Cook Islands, to the Hawaiian Islands, to Guam, to Hawaii, to Japan, to Indonesia, to Australia, to New Zealand, to South Africa, to Portugal and France, even Norway. He went to Norway, Bergen, Norway. I'm a world traveler. My mom and dad, my dad was in the Navy, and we travel. We never lived in one spot more than a year and a half. So I'm a worldwide traveler. I've learned a lot, and I have a lot of life skills that I can share with anybody. And one of these life skills has been the battle with CPS. When they came 5 years later and tried to find something wrong, they took my children and they weren't in danger. I did not know that you could say no to social workers or police. The police are supposed to protect the social workers, not enforce their laws or their made up things that they're trying to do. Their only interest is to get your child lassoed in and start collecting money for that child. If he's a special needs, they get an extra $10,000. They get $20,000 per child. And then if they get that child adopted into foster care, they get a bonus of $35,000. It's all about money. It's trillions of dollars that CPS makes. And if you're in California, you have to be careful of the entities out there. Now, I call them the Child Protection System, but my case was Orange County. It was Orange County Children Protective Services. Next door in LA County is Department of Children and Family Services. Then there's Riverside, San Bernardino. Those counties were bad. And then there is the Kern River and Terrain. There's a lot of bad places in California, but also in other states I'm finding out. In fact, I've talked to 1,857 people about their CPS case. They all have something in common. They're low income. CPS does not attack a rich household or rich family because they know they can get an attorney. And that's one thing I wasn't think about. Here I was, I got life insurance, I got this insurance and that insurance, but I forgot legal insurance and I cannot afford an attorney. They're expensive. They are expensive, the retainer, but they're worth it because they do things that you won't be able to do. They know how to navigate, and if you get one that's a fighter, they'll sue them for your violation of your constitutional civil rights. Now, I'm here to help you all, to talk about my case that would help you. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and husband with over 42 years of marriage, and I've helped raise 6 children. 3 of them were trafficking by the CPS system. They were trafficking. They do trafficking legally in CPS. It's against the law everywhere else. And my children's behavior was changed. They were harmed physically, and they're not the same. And in fact, of the 3 children taken, one of them was talked into divorcing their parents and changed their name and changed their birth certificate and completely erase their parents. That's how sick the social worker was and doing retaliation against the parents because she was caught by my attorney committing perjury in court. She lied. I know firsthand that they lie. I know firsthand that they make it for money. I know about the bonuses, the incentives. There's so much wrongdoing. Every day I talk to someone. Every day they're hurting, whether you're in New York or on an Indian reservation, the Osage Indians or the Lakota Sioux and Rosebud, South Dakota. I could go on and on and on. And this isn't only in the United States, it's a worldwide. I have 23 countries that have participated, and 22 of them were outside of the United States. I've had every state, including Washington, D.C., which is not a state. It used to be called the District of Columbia, but now it's called Washington, D.C. So I'm here to help you, to talk about issues, to solve issues. I had a parent 2 weeks ago mistakenly had their daughter's appendix removed because the social worker insisted on it. The social worker thought they were a medical doctor. And that's not what they had. That's not what they had. It was some gallstones. Now I'm here to help you all, and I'm so happy to see Rain Becker in here. Hello again, Rain. You're still fighting. Glad to hear. Do you remember my case out of Texas? Yes, I do, Rain Baker. And I also submitted your name to have your private talk with Mr. Davis. I'm so glad you came. Can you give me an update, Rain? And this is Deborah Lynn Bonner. You want to help write some papers up to push our state reps to go, we're fighting to stand hand against these. Yes, I love to help out. I do talk about all the time about how to get it. It's going to take more than Congress. It's going to take everybody united. Well, tell me more that you're being railroaded. I want to hear more, Rain, from Houston, Texas. That's so sad to hear that it just keeps happening to people that try so hard. Now, to ask me questions or to text me a message, all you have to do is make a comment or a question about CPS. It has to pertain to CPS. Please state your first name. Now, I know a lot of you have names on your handles with YouTube and Facebook, but a lot of them are very confusing and very hard to understand. So a simple name like Mary, John, Barbara, Sue, whatever, that would be great. Then list your city or county, and then your state. And if you're from outside the United States, your country. Outside the United States, your country. Hello, CR. Well, that's terrible to hear, CR. Let me read up above here. I know this to be true. I hired a Miss amicus attorney for my divorce so that my children's voices could be heard in court. Come to find out, the amicus is a CPS attorney. Well, I don't know how you found a divorce attorney. What you need to do is you need to find a divorce attorney that is schooled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Divorce and the child protection system, they're to go hand in hand. And that is a shame that you find out that he is a CPS attorney. Now, where are you from, CR? I have no idea what part of the world you're from. So if you can tell me where you're from, that'd be great. That'd be great. Now, this, I guess, attorney did no investigation and watched them lie straight to the judge's face in our attempt for a custody hearing. Who was lying straight to his face? Was the attorney you hired or the CPS attorney? Was this the plaintiff or defendant? I need some more help, CR. I need some more help. Now, Rain said the OAG is dragging her feet getting the maternity test done. Who is the OAG? Deborah Lynn Bonham, I don't know where you're from, just found your page, need more info. I have a lot of info. I'm on here, by the way, everybody is listening, twice a day, 7 days a week. I've been doing this for 20 months, longer than I think anybody's done anything on YouTube. And if I don't get it tonight, I'll get it tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. I'm on, every night of the week at 7 p.m., Monday through Sunday. And then on the daytimes, I'm on during the weekdays from 10 to 11, Monday through Friday, and from 8 to 9 on the weekends. Those are all Pacific Standard Time. That's the West Coast of California, where I am held back for there. So I don't know who Ambicus is. And we try not to use names if we can help it on here. But he says he was a divorce attorney. How do you go about hiring him? You should have checked his background. Anytime you guys hire an attorney, you need to check their background. Always ask for 3 references. You need to find out who you're going to pay and who you're going to hire. Also, you need to ask important questions. Are they schooled in dependency law, family law, juvenile law? Have they gotten back children? Have they fought CPS? And the second question is, have they done lawsuits against CPS? Because you want to find out what kind of attorneys. If they do lawsuits, they're not afraid. Either do a lawsuit in state court or federal court. Okay, Deborah's at the hospital. We'll send a message soon as we're home. I can't follow up on. It looks like I'm the only one on live. I'll check your YouTube. No, I have lots of people, Deborah, on. The problem is the Facebook pages don't see everything, I don't think. Kelly Fisher from Chicago's on and says hi. CR is on. I don't know where CR is from, but he has contracted my state representative to work on some bills to have the family laws change in Texas, but they have not responded to me. Okay, I guess he's from Texas. That's good. And Renee is from Texas also. Yeah, CR is from San Antonio, Texas. And your caseworkers micromanage my visits. I'm so sorry. This is wrong. And Rain has talked to the Office of Attorney General. And Deborah, where I don't know where you're from, needs more information. Deborah, I'm here to help you. All you have to do is ask me questions. And I don't know who Ambercus is. And I'm so sorry, Rain, your son has continued to be harmed. That's terrible. How do we talk more? Well, by text me messages. And by the way, also when the first time you text me, tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at. Now, another way to interact with this live stream is to be a guest on my live stream. To be a guest on my live stream, please email my show producer. Her name is Grace, and she can be reached at grace@vincentwdavis.com. You just give her the day and the time that you want to be on. I want Bob's Sunday night show, or Bob's Friday morning show, or Bob's Wednesday night show, or Bob's Monday morning show. You have 14 shows to pick from, and I can take 9 of you at one time to talk on this show. Anyway, to be the guest, you just send her the date you want, and she'll send you back a link to copy and paste, and you'll get on YouTube. And the application I use is StreamYard. That is the application I use. So that's to be a guest. The third way is to call in. My phone number is live. It's 626-698-0990. And you can call in and talk to me on the show. Now, by calling in or being a guest, you qualify for a free 15-minute private Zoom consultation with my attorney, Vincent Davis. Free. All you have to do is call in the show or be a guest, and I'll tell you how to do it. Now, Deborah says, leaving the hospital, okay. My son's hair is matted to his head because he hasn't washed in weeks. That's terrible. All right, we got a phone call coming in. Good evening. This is Bob Pace with the live stream Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. How can I help you?
Bob, it's Christina.
Good evening, Christina. Glad to hear from you.
I have a question. So I was kind of sad again. Like the other day, I was sad just a little bit. I tried to talk to Vincent. He said, call back in 5 minutes because I lost the words. But I have a disability that from being strangled, and I have a word for that. But anyway, so then Miss G interviewed me and then said something about me being scattered or something. And I told her, I explained, and I thought she understood. And so she was supposed to was going to get back with me. She was interested in inviting me, but the next day she might have court. So now it's 3 days later. So when all this happened and I'm sad, I actually prepared a grievance, and it's up here. It was done like an hour ago, because I was like this. I was hurt. I'm confused by that a bit.
I'm so sorry. For all you don't know who Christina Reynosa is, she is a lady in Las Vegas, Nevada that's gone through a horrendous attack on her and her children. And she's trying to work with the law firm that I work for. Mrs. G is one of the people that's a case worker at the law firm who I think was trying to help you. Mr. Davis does try to spread himself out too thin, but he does talk to you if I set it up, and I do get questions answered from him. I wish you wouldn't feel so hard on yourself. I know you're going through a lot of emotions, and you're very important in this room because you help a lot of people in here, and you're always here to support my live stream. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're on. Now, what can I do to cheer you up?
share my grievance.
Sure. What is your grievance about CPS? Oh, I'd like to talk to you privately first about that.
Yeah. And their response. And
Could we maybe talk, during my talking hours? I talk, right. I talk to people that want to hire Vincent Davis or have trouble with the law firm. I talk between the hours of 8 in the morning to 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then again from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Monday through Friday. So if you want to talk tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., which I think Las Vegas is on the same time as the West Coast, 8 a.m. would be good. If you want to talk to me after my live stream at 11 o'clock, that'd be fine too. But I'd like to go ahead.
And would you mind be able to check it out?
Yes, I will. I'll do both those things.
Because it's important. It's on the phone with Bob. Yes, I am. This is your chance to tell your story. Okay. One moment, please. I need you to. I'm asking you to hold 1 moment, please.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem, Christina. Okay, for the rest of the people in this room, let me catch up with you, okay? I'm leaving the hospital. That was Lynn. She should see everybody. Rain Becker says, my son has matted hair in his head because he had been washed in weeks. That's terrible. The people should be taking better care of. CR is amicus attorney is an attorney that is supposed to represent the children in a case. Who got that attorney? Is that attorney a paid attorney? You guys have to understand, if you can't afford an attorney, CPS loves to give you one, but to give you one that is not trained in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. And they will not fight for your case because they're so burdened with cases of 50 to 100 cases. It's ridiculous what CPS does. But they hope that they'll provide attorneys for the children too. Each child has an attorney, and most of the time it's court appointed. Problem with court appointed, they're not going to fight. They got other things going on, and they don't have time. And I hate to say it, a lot of it's because they're corrupt. It's all about money. And it is hard. It is hard. And I know a lot of you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, are you back?
Yeah. So this is not to be taken as funny because my feelings are hurt. Okay, so but I'm laughing because the fact that I mean I shouldn't laugh because I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm filing a formal grievance against CPS advocates in Davis and Georgia and California who discriminated against me. Why they did? I called for help with my 30-year CPS case. I told them I'm a strangulation survivor with a brain injury. Instead of accommodating my disability, they called me scattered. I shared that I am a document Christopher Columbus and Aztec Prince.
Christina, can I stop you right now? Christina, can I stop you right here? Because that is going to be email. Okay. Yeah, Christina, please. I'm sorry, Christina. This is not to air differences about the law firm that I work for. If there's a problem with the law firm, I'll definitely listen to you in an email. I'm so sorry I had to cut you off. I didn't mean to do that. But we're here about CPS cases. And we're here to help one another and not take apart this is valuable time that people are listening. And I'm really, really, really sorry that I had to do that. This is Bob Pace doing the live stream. Stop fighting CPS, stop taking the children. How can I help you? Oh, pretty good. Let me put you on speakerphone. There we go. Rain Becker, and you're from Houston, Texas, right? Okay, Wise County, Texas. I'm sorry about the last caller. Um, I had to end the conversation because the things that she wanted to file a grievance are personal and they should be taken to me and privately. And I'm certainly not trying to cut people off like that. I'm very lenient when it comes to that. Um,
Hello.
yeah, I'm still here. I just have to text something real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, I just text the caller, who is Christina Reynosa from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I apologize to her that I had to curtail because this isn't a live stream for the purpose of putting grievances. It's supposed to help one another. And I think I stand for everybody listening. There is issues, and I'm glad to get to them. Now, I have on the phone right now, I'm speaking to Renee Becker. Where'd she go? Are you still here? Oh, okay. I just didn't quite hear. Who's been on my show once before. Have you had your talk with Vincent Davis yet? Okay. I know it'll be fast coming up there. Now, your last message, you said, what is an OAG?
Justice, the Attorney General. And because they are in charge of it, apparently, I'm told that they're just very overloaded. So, according to an attorney I spoke with, they said it could take months for that to come and be done. Well,
Yeah.
it's not there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope that it gets done quicker, but I shouldn't have to.
Right. Right. This is determine the biological father of you to your son. Is that what its purpose? Right. They say I meant the biological mother. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say father. They wanted to prove that you're the biological mother. Or they won't take your driver's license either. Yeah. That's the two things. And of course the attorney using isn't any good and he's not presenting it right. Have you thought about Doge? Well, let me put it up on the screen. I think I've talked about it several times. President Trump has created a government department called Government Efficiency, Department of Government Efficiency. Its purpose is to research government entities, not research, but investigate government entities that are wasting money and not doing their job seriously. And we had Elon Musk, who was not hired, but he was requested for 130 days. His time ran up May 31st. There's a lot of rumors now, and they're trying to make it look like Trump and Elon Musk are mad at each other or whatever. But this web entity has two phone numbers, 202-456 quadruple 1 or 202-456-1414. Also, they have an email called doge@mail.house.gov. And they have a website that gives a lot of important information. Now, this is kind of like a last resort type thing. I like people to go to their local mayors, their state congressman, or their state representative, or the news media, or go to the ombudsperson or the civil rights coordinator, both at the state level or at the federal level. Try to do all those before you exhaust your source and use Doge as a last resort. But it sounds like to me you're going nowhere, and I think you let Doge know what they're doing. It's just a simple phone call. You call tomorrow. I know the number works. It's the White House. There's nothing wrong. In fact, I tell people they're on that website. They're asking people if they want to work for them. They're offering jobs, salary positions. It says doesn't say how much the salary is, but they're offering salary positions to various kinds of folks. So it's a real job. It's a real investigation. And so far, they've found billions, not trillions yet, but Musk's goal was to get trillions right away, but he's now got a lot of billion. That's more than 1 million of money saved, and that will help everybody. That'll help everybody. And if a guy is not working, they don't need to be on the payroll. If the guy is dead, they don't need to be paying him. So there's a lot of government waste, and every 6 months we have to figure out, Congress to figure out how we're going to pay our deficit. We have to pay Social Security recipients, and we got to pay our military. And both of them require money. And it seems every 6 months we don't have that kind of money, and they're going to be saying that the soldiers will be working without pay. Well, without pay doesn't buy food for the families. Without pay, it doesn't fuel the ships. So anyway, I'm telling you, try that and see if that helps you any. Would that maybe, Rain, be something you would think about?
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, that's just an idea. I'm not saying, I'm just trying to come up with ideas. And that goes true for anybody in here. That goes true for anybody in here. Because Rain has a very bad case. They're now saying she's not the mother of her son, which is ludicrous. If she has a birth certificate and her driver's license, she is the mother. And she can do a simple paternity test with her own doctor. Have you done that yet? No, you don't have to go through. No, this is the thing is, you can do your own test to dispute them, to back up what you're saying. It's like people think they have to do the drug test by CPS, or they have to let a social worker tell them that they're crazy or they're dysfunctional. Social workers are not doctors. The ones that are clinical psychiatrists that may have a master's may be a doctor, but not all social workers are clinical psychiatrists. And they all the time trying to figure out that people are crazy in the head. So I want to help as best as I can. That's an awful thing you're going through where your son is definitely having issues.
And it's sad when I see him and he's not being taken care of properly. They can't even put a piece of split gauze underneath the G-tube because they're too lazy. And his hair hasn't been cleaned or washed or combed in weeks.
Yeah.
I don't understand. He's not being cared for at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the foster placement can do no wrong. It's like the caseworker worships the ground they walk on. They can't do anything wrong.
Right.
But if he was in my care, or was mad like that, they would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a double standard.
I agree with you. It's very frustrating. It's anybody in this room listening. Is there any advice you can give her? Anything can help out? We have CPR that may have gotten the wrong attorney, which is not working in his case. We have Deborah Lynn Boner, who's the new person. And there's lots of people here, Deborah. And Kelly's been on my show before from Chicago. And who else do we have here? We have Rain, of course, who's on the phone. And then we had Christina Renoza call in, and she's really having some bad issues there too. And she's been on my show a long time. She's been on my show a long time. So as of today, the Attorney General is dragging their feet doing the genetic testing to see if you're the mother.
Right. Because we've got another court hearing on the 25th of June, and I know that the results will be back by then, and if they don't have the results, there's no way the judge is even going to entertain returning it. Well, this is ridiculous.
I agree. That's why I'm asking you to take some results yourself. Take the results yourself. It will help you.
Okay.
I know they sell those genealogy kits or whatever they are, ancestry.com, for a couple $100. You can do a swab of your son and a swab of yours and see if they match. Well, no. You can't say they allow you. Are you in jail right now? Are you in custody? Are you in custody? Okay, well there's no way they can stop you from doing your own testing. Now, who has your son, by the way? Who has your son? And what has the social worker said about the foster home not bathing your son? Have you even complained to the social worker? And what's the social worker told you? Have you tried to go to the supervisor of the social worker? How about the director of CPS in that town? Well, I think what you need to do is to talk to Doge. You need to go to the top dog. I mean, you'll be calling the White House. 202 is the White House. Or you can write on Truth Social and send an email to Donald Trump. Word it such that you have a 10-year-old, is your son 10, I think? And you're involved in a CPS case and they refuse to get the testing showing I'm his mother and he's being harmed. You write that to an email to Donald Trump, he'll do something. He'll do something. I think everybody has Donald Trump's email or his Twitter page. I'm telling people, you have to sometimes go to the top dog to get things done in CPS circles. I know they are. And I think that the more you squabble about it, you complain to Doge, you complain to your state representative, you complain to your state senator, you complain to the mayor, you complain to NBC News, ABC News, CBS News, um, the CNN News. I mean, you got so many news outlets. One of them will take the bite and take the case. I mean, they're not going to put a case about the Boy Scout that helps a little lady cross the street. They want juicy stuff. Like the news reporters are all excited about Diddy Combs, which I think is a waste of time. So I think, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep you updated in my case, because every time something happens, it's like more and more craziness. So I'm absolutely gonna keep you updated every step of the way. I don't want to call in too much or take up too
You
much of your
never
time.
call. I tell people I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. That's 14 times you can call me a week.
I just don't want to take up other people's need you too. I don't want to be monopolizing it, but I do want to let you know what's going on in the case.
Yeah, yeah. That's okay. That is okay.
It's just frustrating because I have a reunification case plan, but when he went to the doctors last week, they asked the caseworker if she was going to make him a follow-up appointment, and she said no because all of his doctors are going to be in Houston because that's where he's going to be permanently. Well, how can you say that when I have a reunification case? How?
Yeah, understood.
Something's
That
not right.
I know something is not right. And it's wrong because you love your son. You're doing very good about this.
Well, I'm going to try that. Look up that number tomorrow and call them. The Dodge.
Yeah, Doge, not Dodge, Doge.
Doge. I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, no, that's all right because Dodge is actually a make of car. Is there any other questions you have for me? Okay, don't feel bad you calling there and God bless you and hang in there. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Okay, that was Rain from Texas. And she has a horrible case where they're accused her she's not the biological mom of her son. Her son is in horrible care, in foster care, where they don't give him baths. His hair is matted. So, anyway, I'm here for anybody that would like phone calls. Here, let me put my number back up here. Christina just posed to Facebook, shares something, I guess. Hi, Tony the Tiger from New York. Check in and just got my phone. I left it in my friend's car. Well, I'm glad you just got your phone. Tony is from Ostenego, New York. She has a horrible case with her child that she's trying to visit. It's okay, Renee. You didn't hang up. That is okay. I just said goodbye to you, Renee. That's really good. So let's see what Christina Renoza is putting out there. um, anyway, um, let me see here. You talked with Faye today. Great. I'm glad you did, Christina. I'm glad. Faye sent me a message and I've had a chance to respond. How's she doing? She's been fighting 2 cases of battle pneumonia. So um, I'm glad you talked to her. For all you don't know, Faye Manley used to be on my show a lot. She's a single mom that's brought up in foster care and abused and trafficking as a child and later as an adult. They've been abusing her, and she's trying to get guardianship of a young son who the police, everybody's been after her, which is a shame. It's in Richmond, Kentucky, and she shared a lot about Kentuckians. Anyway, I have a couple minutes left. I want to thank Renee for calling in and keeping in touch. Christina Renosa, please don't be sad. I want to help you. I want to express and find out what is troubling you. And I'm so glad you called. But we're here to talk about a CPS case and cases and how to help out one another. Now, Tony the Tiger, I've been here all along. You've come in there. I'm so sorry, CR, that you got a bad attorney. You need to replace that attorney. I don't know if you hired or what the deals are. But Deborah Lane Vanner, I hope you're okay. You said you're coming home from the hospital. And I'll be on again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock a.m. And Kelly Fisher from Chicago, I'm so glad you still keep coming back. And who else do we have here in the room? Let's see, who else here? I think that's it. That's all the people in the room today. There's other people too, and I want to give my best to the people out there. Now, you're at a crossroads and you don't know what to do. Make a list of questions for me tomorrow morning. Or better yet, contact Grace and be on my show. That way you're guaranteed to talk and get your questions answered. I'm here to help you. I care about every one of you. I'm so sorry for the grief and anguish you had to go through. Christina was really brutally beaten up and hurt. A lot of physical pain she's going through. And a lot of you are going through it too. CPS should not be a tormented place. They should not be They caused abuse to me. My children are still suffering it. And I had to go with the loss of my home and can't get a job. And my children's behavior has changed. And it's been a nightmare for me. It's been a nightmare. But I hope that I can talk to you guys. And I do care. I do care. That's why I keep coming back. I don't think most people would come back, as I've done so many shows. I mean, day after day after day. But I'll be here for you. I want to help you all I can. I know a lot, and I'm willing to dig into it and get to know the answers better. So there'll be a brief message when I sign off from Vincent Davis. He's my attorney. Please listen to the message that's being sent here. Keep fighting for your kids. Do not give up. God bless you. And this is Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith